you live from the overly used deck in this random yard that I am in. But you better get used to it, because I got like 10 more of these videos to film. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Solar Systems, where we help you understand the system your soul goes into. This is Moon Days with Michael. I'm your host, Royal Triangle Michael, and I am cutting out the esoteric middleman and giving you the tools you need to connect yourself right to the source. Now, we are continuing our dive into the Orion constellation, and we are talking about the right knee of the Orion constellation, Saiph, or Saiph. Text is over there. So, we're going to be breaking down its physical location in the sky, its orb, its nature, its influences, and why it is the right knee of the constellation. So, without any further ado, let's hop into it. So, Saiph can be found in 26 degrees of Gemini. It has an orb of 2, and its nature is that of Mars and Jupiter. And this will make sense once we actually start breaking down what Saiph's influence actually is. So with that out of the way, Saiph's influences. So, what is Saiph? What are the energetic influences that this star carries? Well, to understand this, you have to understand the knee, aka the 10th house, and why Saiph is placed in the right knee of the Orion constellation. So, the 10th house is basically the house of status and what people know you for. So with that being said, what is Orion and what is Saiph? Saiph is the star that is located in the 10th house of the Orion constellation. The Orion constellation is the hunter. It has to do with war, protection. It is the physical vessel of Archangel Michael in this realm, not on this earth, that's me, in this realm, in this solar system. Stop being so windy. Go away. I'm talking. I don't need any more air in this video. So with that being said, the Orion constellation doing with hunting, or the hunter, basically you trying to calm your emotions down, start thinking logically, making a plan of attack so you can actually eat that night, as well as war and protection. So that is what the Orion constellation is known for. So with that being said, what do you think Saiph's energetic influences have to do with? That's right. War, protection. It's sort of the seek and destroy energy of the Orion constellation, where it doesn't necessarily go looking for demons, so to speak, to try and, cut them up. They kind of just stumble into it, which is what the Mars and Jupiterian influence actually comes from. It's not necessarily going out looking for trouble, it just comes to you, and because you're strong, you just cut it up and get rid of it. That's basically Saiph's influence. And then, the whole hunting aspect of it, which has to do with, calming your emotions down, think logically, make a plan of attack so you can actually eat that day. And so, with that being what the Orion constellation is known for, this is literally Saiph's energetic influence. Mars and Jupiterian has to do with war, hunting, protection, not necessarily looking for trouble, but it just finding you and you cutting it up anyways, right? And that is why it has a Mars and Jupiterian influence. It's not as favorable as Betelgeuse, but it's not as destructive as Bellatrix. So it's kind of in between those two in their influences. But now, let's actually talk about something that's kind of interesting, and why Saiph is typically shown kneeling, right? The Orion constellation is typically shown being on one knee. And why is this? To understand this, you have to understand how the Orion constellation got put in the sky. So if you know anything about the Orion constellation, basically Orion was a hunter, said that he could kill or hunt anything on Earth. A giant scorpion rose out of the Earth. Orion kills it. Scorpion stabs Orion. Orion dies. They're both put into the sky as constellations. The reason why Saiph is basically in a kneeling position, or the Orion constellation is in a kneeling position, is to show you that pride can be your downfall if you do not kneel to it, but control it. And what I mean by this is that you should never kneel to anyone else, and even kneeling to yourself is kind of iffy. But the Orion constellation isn't taking a knee to anyone else. It is to show you that pride is going to be one of the things that kills you the fastest, right? Putting you into situations that you're not necessarily ready for, or things that you can't handle, and putting you in a resulting situation of death and destruction, which is not what we want, which is why it is shown being on its knee. Think about knees and think about being status, right? When it comes to kneeling, people typically kneel to a person of a higher status, so like a king. Or in this day and age, people take a knee for a promotion. Enough about that. But the Orion constellation isn't kneeling to another person. It's kneeling to its pride, but not in a way that it makes the pride more dominant. It's basically kneeling to the pride in a way that's not going to let it push out of itself to get it into a point where it's doing something stupid and it shouldn't do. Which is also why it's the right knee. Because in spirituality, left is your unconscious realm, right is your conscious realm. Or you're a camera. So I guess something like that. With that being said, it's the right knee because it takes conscious effort for you to kind of hold back your pride and not put yourself in a stupid situation that you know you shouldn't be in the first place, which is why it's the right knee. That's Saiph for you. There you go. It's location, it's orb, it's nature, and yeah, war, protection, hunting. It is the status of the Orion constellation, and it also has the lesson to teach you to hold back your pride and not put you in a situation where you might end up dead. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want a reading, you can email us at readings@solarsystems.org. Don't forget to check out the Instagram, Solar Systems, where we help you understand every day's energy every day on the daily, breaking down the daily alignments of that day. And yeah, join me next time when we're talking about Rigel, the left ankle of Orion, aka the star that nobody really likes because of what it did to Procyon. Right over there. But yeah, fly high, y'all.